In our continued investigation into the El Paso County family court system, we have uncovered a violation of constitutional rights, the use of judicial oppression, and civil collusion. There is currently a secret movement in the family court system that is being forced upon the citizens of El Paso, Texas, and its families in violation of their due process rights under the 5th and 14th Amendments, which ensures fairness in legal proceedings, including the right to present evidence in one's case. What we have uncovered through our 3-year investigation is a civil collusion focused upon a secret judicial agenda being heavily implemented by Judge Laida Ness Garcia and Judge Jesus Rodriguez, aided by attorneys Joy Kelly Dagenhart, Lisa Hayes, and Veronica Lerma, and being pushed and supported behind the scenes by Associate Judge Laura Stratham, all under the protection of Congresswoman Veronica Escobar. The secret judicial agenda or movement is entitled 50-50, Custody No Matter What, which has shifted the court's focus and priorities and is being done so unconstitutionally. The group comprised of presiding family judges and practicing family lawyers in El Paso, Texas, who are implementing this secret judicial agenda are known through the legal community as the 50-50. Due to time constraints, we will be focusing on one of the most serious and unethical violations among many. One extremely disgusting violation that stands out the most is the violation of due process rights at the hands of Judge Laida Ness Garcia and Judge Jesus Rodriguez. The evidence for this disgusting violation is comprised of, but not limited to, statements made and actions taken by both judges while presiding over the bench during court proceedings, and we paraphrase the following. I don't need the expert witness to tell me what to do. I worked with CPS for years. I am not going to allow the testimony from the expert. I know what I am doing. I worked with CPS, and I know the truth. I know how CPS works, and I don't need to hear from them. I am not going to listen to the child. However, the issue at hand is that these statements are a clear violation of the victim's due process rights. By not allowing the abused mothers and the child victims to bring forth their evidence, witnesses and experts into a court of law on its basis of fact is a clear violation of due process rights. These statements clearly demonstrate that before the victim is even heard or their case presented, Judge Laida Ness and Judge Jesus Rodriguez have already decided that no matter how horrific or extremely outrageous the abuse of the child was, it's 50-50 custody no matter what. Where did the secret agenda come from? Judge Laida Ness Garcia and Judge Jesus Rodriguez are huge proponents and members of the PASG movement or Parental Alienation Study Group. The PASG advocates the concept of parental alienation in family courts, leading to the creation of Judge Laida Ness Garcia and Judge Jesus Rodriguez's 50-50 custody no matter what secret judicial agenda. Our investigation found that on June 16th through the 18th, 2023, Judge Laida Ness Garcia spoke at a PASG conference under her official capacity as the presiding judge of the 383rd District Court in El Paso County, Texas, representing the citizens of El Paso as an elected official at Fort Collins in Colorado. There on stage, she championed her position and openly touted for the audience the implementation of her secret judicial agenda on the unwitting families and child victims of El Paso, Texas, 50-50 custody no matter what. The questions that beg to be asked are, is Judge Laida Ness Garcia using the abused mothers and child victims of El Paso, Texas, as unwilling participants in a paid study funded by the Parental Alienation Study Group? Is Judge Laida Ness Garcia giving child victims back to the abusers for the simple fact that she is looking for a new income stream as the face of the 50-50 no matter what movement for the Parental Alienation Study Group? Is Judge Laida Ness Garcia attempting to pull off her new financial scheme by violating victims' constitutional rights, using judicial oppression, civil collusion against mothers and child victims, and selling 50-50 no matter what to the abuser by detailing to them that with 50-50 no matter what, the abuser will pay no child support in hopes of becoming the new face of the 50-50 no matter what movement in Texas? The truth about the PASG model and its legal standing is that there has been significant controversy in the family court system all over the United States, with critics arguing that it lacks any scientific basis and that the concept of parental alienation is not recognized as a legitimate mental health diagnosis by major medical or psychological organizations and can be used to undermine the claims of abused mothers and child victims. This is exactly how Judge Lida Ness Garcia and Judge Jesus Rodriguez use the PASG model to undermine abused mothers and child victims in their courts through the implementation of the 50-50 no matter what model. The largest red flag for what Judge Lida Ness Garcia and Judge Jesus Rodriguez are doing by implementing the PASG model is the huge potential to undermine the claims of abused mothers, as it can be used to suggest that their accusations of abuse are simply the result of alienation. Further, the judicial agenda currently being implemented by Judge Lida Ness Garcia and Judge Jesus Rodriguez and aided by the 50-50 is creating a bias in the family court system where the focus is on the court's fabricated alienation of the child rather than on the factual child abuse. What we have found is that in several family court cases before Judge Lida Ness Garcia and Judge Jesus Rodriguez involving child victims, there was extensive, clear, and convincing testimony and evidence presented in court through witness testimony, court filings, and investigations which would have allowed the courts to conclude beyond a preponderance of the evidence that there was in fact abuse and would have aided the judges in preventing abusers from getting their hands on the victims. And yet Judge Lida Ness Garcia and Judge Jesus Rodriguez ignored the facts presented before them in court, prevented any witness that may have rebutted and contravened the judge's beliefs from testifying, and with a simple statement, "I don't need the expert witness to testify and tell me what to do. I worked with CPS for over 20 years, and I know the truth." And the 50-50 no matter what judicial agenda is forced upon the victim. What is effectively transpiring in the family court system in El Paso County is a cabal of unfulfilled women with daddy issues.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Who are unable to keep a father figure in their own child's life, abusing their judicial and legal authority to unconstitutionally force the abused mothers and child victims to go back to child sexual abusers, to physical abusers, to self-proclaimed drug-addicted ex-convicts, for the simple fact that the legal ideology and the secret judicial agenda of these women is 50-50 no matter what, because any kind of father figure in their life is what they would kill for. A judicial agenda that was never presented to the citizens of El Paso, Texas. We here at the Sammy C Show know that Judge Jesus Rodriguez is up for re-election in 2026, and we will make it our unbending mission that the citizens of El Paso, Texas, learn the truth of 50-50 no matter what and how Judge Jesus Rodriguez uses it as a conclusory legal ruling before the victims have even had a chance to be heard in his court. We will do everything in our legal right to ensure that the unethical Jesus Rodriguez never presides over another courtroom in the state of Texas. We pledge to back any ethical candidate who will step up and unseat this coward.
The Sammy C Show, a citizen journalist and judicial activist.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It's
Gets
gross.
the people going.